The twin moons were rising over the alien city of Coral. Their pale blue light touched the sharp towers, the silver streets, and the endless desert beyond. It was a quiet evening, but inside one small home, silence had turned into fear. Ziri, a young alien child with bright golden eyes, pushed open the door. His steps were slow, his small hands pressed against his back as if holding something hidden. His mother, Lyra, noticed at once. She had been waiting for him. The air in the room smelled of warm food, but Ziri's face told her something was wrong. "Ziri," she asked softly, "what happened at school? Why do you walk like that?" The boy hesitated. He looked down at the floor, his voice almost a whisper. "Mom, something grows on my back," Lyra froze. The words felt like ice in her veins. She hurried to him and knelt down. "Show me," she said, though part of her heart begged not to see. Ziri slowly moved his tunic aside, revealing his small shoulder blades. At first there was nothing unusual, but then under the skin a glow shimmered. Faint lines like silver veins were spreading across his back. They pulsed with light, slow and steady, as if something alive moved beneath the skin. Lyra's breath caught. Her hands shook as she touched the glowing lines. They were warm, too warm, like fire hidden under flesh. She pulled her hand back as if burned. Ziri looked at her with wide, frightened eyes.
"Am I sick, Mom?"
"Will I die?" Lyra tried to speak, but no words came. Instead, memories rose like a storm. Long ago, when she was a child, she had seen this before. The mark, the cursed mark. Her grandmother had told stories of children who carried this glow. They were called chosen, but to be chosen was not a gift. It was a curse that always ended in pain. Her knees gave way. She fell onto the hard floor, clutching her chest as if the pain was hers. "No," she whispered. Tears filled her eyes. "Not you. Please, not you." Ziri stepped closer, scared by his mother's reaction. "Mom, why do you cry?" Lyra tried to hide her face, but the truth burned inside her. Centuries ago, when humans had first come to their world, they had taken the chosen. The humans claimed it was for peace. But peace never came. Only screams, empty homes, and broken families. The chosen were never seen again. No one knew if they were killed or transformed. Only the mothers remembered the sound of soldiers taking their children away. And now her own son carried the same mark. Lyra forced herself to stand. She touched Ziri's face gently and smiled through tears. "You are not sick," she said in a shaking voice. "You will live. I promise you will live." She could not tell him the truth. He was too young to understand. But inside, her heart cracked. She knew this secret would destroy them if others found out. That night, while Ziri slept, Lyra sat awake by the window. The glowing mark had spread a little more across his back before he closed his eyes. The silver veins looked almost beautiful, like patterns of stars. But beauty often hides danger. She remembered her grandmother's last warning. When the mark returns, so will the humans. She prayed it was not true. But far above, in the endless sky, something moved. Distant lights flickered in the darkness, too straight, too sharp to be stars. Ships silent and waiting. Lyra's body trembled as if her soul already knew the future. She turned back to her sleeping child. Ziri lay peacefully, unaware of the storm coming for him. His small chest rose and fell, his hands curled around a simple wooden toy. To him, the world was still safe. To her, it was falling apart. Lyra whispered to herself, her voice breaking. "I will not let them take you. Not while I breathe." But as she spoke, the glow from Ziri's back brightened for just a moment, as if answering something far away. Lyra gasped and covered him with blankets, but deep inside she knew the truth. This was only the beginning. The city outside slept in silence. The towers gleamed under moonlight. But in one home, a mother's tears fell onto the floor, and a child carried a secret older than time. The mark was alive, the humans would return, and the universe itself seemed to be holding its breath. And so the story began. Morning came to Coral, but for Lyra it felt like the longest night of her life. The suns rose over the city's towers, painting them gold, yet her heart was heavy with fear. She watched Ziri eating his simple breakfast. He smiled at her, trying to act normal, but she could see the worry in his eyes. His tunic covered the glow on his back, but Lyra could not forget what she had seen. Ziri broke the silence. "Mom, the glowing..." It grew again last night. His small hands trembled as he spoke. "It feels warm, like something is alive inside me." Lyra forced a smile, but inside her chest tightened. She remembered her grandmother's voice full of warnings. When the chosen are born, they will carry light under their skin. That light will call the humans back. Her grandmother's stories had sounded like old myths, but they were not myths. They were warnings from history. Lyra reached across the table and held Ziri's hand. "You are strong," she said softly. "And whatever grows inside you, it will not take you away from me." Her voice cracked on the last words. Ziri tilted his head. "Take me away? Who would do that?" She hesitated. Should she tell him? Should she place the weight of the past on his small shoulders? Her mind screamed no. He was still a child. He needed hope, not fear. And yet the truth pushed against her lips. "Long ago," she began, her eyes distant, "there were others like you. Children who carried the glow. Our people called them chosen ones, but to be chosen was not joy, it was sorrow." Ziri's eyes widened. "What happened to them?" Lyra's hands trembled. She stood, moving toward the window, her back to him. Her voice dropped to a whisper, as if even the walls might betray her secret. "The humans came. They said the chosen were special. They said they needed them to keep peace. But when the humans took the children, they never returned. Not one." Silence filled the room. Ziri stared at his mother, confused. Why would they take them? Did they hurt them? Lyra closed her eyes. She could still see the face of her childhood friend, Tira, glowing just like Ziri. She remembered soldiers in metal suits, dragging the screaming child away while mothers wailed. She had been too young to understand then. But now she knew the humans had lied. Whatever they had done with the chosen, it had brought nothing but grief. "I don't know," Lyra said, her voice breaking. "But I swore, if it ever happened again, I would protect my child." She turned back to him, her golden eyes wet with tears. "Ziri, you must never let anyone see your back. Do you understand?" The boy nodded slowly, though fear trembled in his voice. "I understand, Mom." Lyra knelt beside him, gripping his shoulders. "Promise me." "I promise," Ziri whispered. For a moment there was peace between them. But deep inside, Ziri's young heart was heavy. He wanted to believe his mother, to trust her strength. Yet the warmth on his back grew stronger, and part of him felt it was not sickness or curse, it was something bigger, something calling him. That afternoon, Lyra left Ziri at home and went to the market. She needed food, but more than that, she needed news. The air was thick with unease. People whispered about strange lights in the night sky. Some claimed they were stars shifting. Others said they were ships. Human ships. The old fear returned to every face she saw. At a corner stall, an elder spoke in a trembling voice. "The signs are clear. The chosen are rising again, I feel it. The humans will come just as before." Lyra's chest tightened. She bought her supplies quickly and hurried home. She could not let anyone suspect Ziri. If word spread, if someone saw the glow, soldiers would come before nightfall. That evening, Ziri sat near the window, staring at the sky. His small voice broke the silence. "Mom, do you think the humans are really coming back?" Lyra's heart skipped. "Why do you ask?" "Because sometimes when I close my eyes, I hear voices. They sound far away, but they say my name." His face was pale. "They sound human." Her blood ran cold. She rushed to him, pulling him away from the window. "No more talk of this. Do you hear me? You are mine, Ziri. They will not have you." Ziri looked at her, frightened by her anger. "I didn't ask for this, Mom. I don't want it." At once her rage melted into sorrow. She pulled him close, holding him tightly against her chest. "I know, my child. I know." Her tears fell into his hair. "But listen to me. Whatever happens, I will never let them take you." Outside, the sky darkened. Beyond the moons, far in the cold black, hidden engines stirred. Human ships moved silently closer, their lights like stars unseen by most eyes. They had heard the call, and soon they would arrive. The night sky over Coral no longer felt safe. At first, the people thought they were watching stars. But then the stars moved. Straight lines of light slid across the heavens, too steady, too sharp to be natural. Soon, whispers spread through the city. "They are back. The humans have returned." Lyra stood on the balcony of her small home, her arms wrapped around herself. The air was cold, but her shivering came from fear, not weather. She could see the lights, faint but real. Ships. Human ships. They had come silently, just as before, without warning, without mercy. Inside, Ziri sat by the window, hugging his knees. His golden eyes reflected the sky. He had heard the whispers in his dreams again, soft, strange voices calling his name, pulling him toward the heavens. His back burned with warmth. The glow under his skin had spread, tracing patterns like roots of a tree climbing across his shoulders. "Mom," he whispered. "They're calling me." Lyra rushed to him and pulled him away from the window. "Do not say that!" Her voice cracked. "You must never speak of this where others can hear. Promise me again." Ciri nodded, frightened by her trembling hands. "I promise." "But what if they already know?" Her heart nearly stopped. She looked into his eyes and saw the truth. Part of him felt the humans. His mark was not just growing, it was reacting to them. The glow was like a beacon. If the humans had come for anything, it was for him. The next day, alarms rang across Coral. Great horns echoed between the towers, shaking the city awake. Every family gathered in fear. Soldiers of the Alien Council marched through the streets shouting orders. No one was allowed outside after dark. Everyone knew why. The humans had landed. In the market square, a huge screen flickered to life. A human face appeared, pale and sharp, framed by a black helmet. His voice boomed across the city, translated into alien tongue. "People of Coral," he said, calm and cold. "We come not as enemies. We come for what belongs to us. One among you carries our gift. The child is marked. Bring the child to us and no harm will come to your world." Gasps and cries filled the square. Mothers clutched their children close. Fathers shouted curses at the screen. But fear drowned every sound. Everyone remembered the old stories. The humans never lied about one thing. They always took the marked child. Lyra stood frozen in the crowd, Ciri's small hand hidden tightly in hers. Her chest ached as the humans' words echoed again. "Bring the child to us." That night the city was silent. No fires burned, no music played. Even the towers seemed dim. Families locked their doors, praying the humans would take no notice of them. But in one home, Lyra sat awake beside Ciri, her mind racing. She wanted to run. She wanted to take him far into the desert, into the mountains where no one could follow. But the humans had ships. They had machines that could see through stone, through walls, through dreams. There was no true hiding place. Ciri broke the silence. "Mom, maybe I should go to them. Maybe they'll stop if I do." Lyra's eyes filled with fire. "Never. You are mine, Ciri. They will not take you like they took the others. You are not theirs, but the voices," he whispered, touching his glowing back. "They sound familiar. Like they know me. Like I am part of them." Her heart shattered. She pulled him close, holding him so tightly he could barely breathe. "Listen to me," she said through her tears. "They are liars? They took children before and never returned them. They do not care for you. They only want to use you." Ciri closed his eyes, resting his head against her. Yet deep inside, the warmth on his back grew stronger, like a fire waiting to burn free. Far above, in orbit, the human commander watched the city through cold glass. His machines had already detected the signal, the glow of the chosen child. It pulsed like a beacon, bright and alive. They knew exactly where he was. They were only waiting for the right moment to strike. On the streets below, alien soldiers patrolled nervously, weapons ready. They remembered the wars. They remembered the screams. But against human ships, their weapons were useless. They guarded Shatters, knowing it was for nothing. That night, Ciri dreamed again. In his dream, he stood inside a vast white hall filled with light. Human figures walked around him, their eyes glowing the same silver as the veins on his back. One of them reached out a hand. "Come home, child. You belong with us." Ciri woke with a cry, sweat running down his face. Lyra rushed to him, holding his trembling body. "What did you see?" she asked. He looked at her with wide eyes. "I saw them. And they called me home." The words broke her. She wept into his hair, rocking him gently. "No, Ciri, this is your home, with me, with your people." But in her heart she knew the truth. The humans would not stop. They had found him. The city of Coral slept uneasily, waiting for the storm. In the distance, engines stirred. Ships prepared. The humans had spoken. They wanted the child. And they would not leave without him. The city of Coral no longer felt like home. Streets were empty. Doors were locked, and fear sat heavy in every heart. People whispered that the humans would take a child before the week ended. Mothers prayed it would not be theirs. Fathers sharpened useless blades. And in one small house, Lyra packed in silence. She moved quickly, water flasks, dried fruit, a blanket, a small knife. Her hands shook as she worked. She looked at Ciri, who sat quietly on the bed, clutching his wooden toy. The glow on his back pulsed softly under his tunic, faint but steady like the beat of another heart. "We cannot stay," Lyra whispered. "They will come for you. Tonight we leave the city." Ziri's golden eyes widened. "Leave, but where will we go?" "Far away. Into the desert, into the mountains. Somewhere the humans cannot follow." But even as she said it, she knew it was a lie. Humans always followed. Still, running was the only choice left. When darkness fell, Lyra and Ziri slipped through the silent streets. Patrols marched with torches, their shadows stretching long. Lyra kept Ziri close, moving like a ghost between buildings. Every sound made her heart race. The clang of armor, the bark of orders, the hiss of wind through the towers. At the city gates, guards stood watch, scanning for danger. Lyra held her breath, waiting in the shadows. The glow on Ziri's back grew stronger, threatening to give them away. She pressed him against the stone wall. "Hide it," she begged. "Hide the light." Ziri closed his eyes, trembling. "I can't, Mom, it burns." Before the guards could notice, a merchant wagon rumbled by, its wheels creaking. Lyra seized the moment. She pulled Ziri under the wagon, crawling through dust and grease. When the wagon passed the gates, they rolled out into the desert night. They were free. For now. The desert stretched endless before them, silver dunes under the twin moons, sharp rocks jutting like broken teeth. The wind carried whispers, soft and cold. Lyra gripped Ziri's hand, leading him away from the city lights. Her heart ached, but she did not look back. Hours passed. Their feet sank in sand. The cold bit their skin. Lyra's throat was dry, but she forced herself onward. Ziri stumbled, his small legs weak. At last, they stopped near a cluster of dark stones. Lyra gave him water and wrapped him in a blanket. As Ziri drifted into uneasy sleep, Lyra stared at the stars. She saw them, tiny sparks moving among the heavens. Human ships circling like hunters. Her stomach twisted. They were searching already. Suddenly, Ziri cried out in his sleep. His body arched, his back glowing bright through the blanket. The veins spread farther, forming patterns like wings. Lyra gasped, pulling the blanket tighter. "Not now," she whispered desperately. Not here, but Ziri's glow only grew. And then for the first time, something strange happened. The stones around them vibrated. Sand shifted. The air itself seemed to hum. Lyra looked around in terror. "Ziri, stop it!" His eyes snapped open, glowing with silver light. For a heartbeat, he was not her little boy, but something greater, something unknown. Then the glow faded, leaving him weak and pale. He collapsed into her arms. Lyra held him close, rocking him gently. "What are you becoming, my son?" she whispered. No answer came, only the sound of wind and the beating of her terrified heart. By dawn, they moved again, climbing into rocky hills. Birds circled overhead, their cries sharp. Lyra guided Ziri into a narrow cave hidden by jagged stone. Inside, shadows wrapped them like a cloak. She gave him food, though he ate little. His eyes looked distant, haunted by dreams he would not share. That night, Lyra left him sleeping and stepped outside the cave. She needed air. She needed hope. But what she found froze her blood. Far below in the desert, lights moved. Not torches, not stars. Machines, human drones, gliding silently over the sand, scanning, searching. Their pale beams swept across the dunes, drawing closer to the hills. Lyra's knees weakened. They had found the trail. She rushed back inside, shaking Ziri awake. "We must go, now." He stirred, confused. "Mom, I can't run anymore." "My legs." She pulled him to his feet, desperation giving her strength. "Then I will carry you." She lifted him onto her back, his small arms wrapping around her neck. His glow burned against her skin, but she ignored the pain. She would not stop. Outside, the drones grew louder, their beams cutting through the night. Lyra stumbled through rocks, heart pounding, lungs burning. She knew they could not outrun machines, but she ran anyway because stopping meant losing him. Then, without warning, the ground beneath them trembled. A deep rumble shook the hills. Rocks fell, sand shifted, and a crack split open behind them. Ziri's body glowed like fire. His eyes opened wide. "Mom," he whispered, voice strange and strong. "The earth listens to me." Lyra turned in shock. The crack widened, swallowing one of the drones whole. Sparks burst into the air. The others pulled back, their lights blinking. Lyra's breath caught. She stared at her son, fear and awe mixing in her chest. He was not just marked. He was powerful. Too powerful. And the humans would never stop until they had him. The hills trembled long after the drone vanished into the crack. Dust floated in the air, sharp in Lyra's lungs. She clutched Ziri tightly, her mind spinning. The boy was silent on her back, his glow fading. But the memory of what he had done burned inside her. He had broken the earth. With a thought. With a whisper. "Ziri," she said softly, setting him down against a rock. Do you know what happened?" The boy shook his head weakly. His golden eyes looked frightened. "I didn't mean to. It just answered me, like the ground could hear my voice." "Mom, what's wrong with me?" Lyra's heart ached. She touched his cheek, her voice trembling. "Nothing is wrong. You are my son. But what grows inside you? It is dangerous. Not because of you, but because of what others will do if they see it." Ziri lowered his gaze. The glow on his back pulsed again, brighter this time, like wings stretching beneath his skin. Before Lyra could speak more, the air filled with a sharp whine. From the sky, silver shapes dropped like arrows. Human hunters, machines shaped like birds of steel. Their red eyes scanned the rocks. "They found us," Lyra whispered. She grabbed Ziri's hand, pulling him deeper into the hills. The ground shook as the machines fired bolts of energy. Rocks exploded, sparks flew. Lyra pushed Ziri into a narrow crack between boulders. "Stay low! Don't move!" she shouted, but Ziri's back burned hotter than fire. His body shook. He cried out, "Mom, I can't hold it anymore!" The machines closed in, metal wings cutting the air. Lyra grabbed a stone and threw it. Desperate, useless against iron hunters. Her body shielded Ziri's small frame. She whispered, "Close your eyes, my child. Don't be afraid." But Ziri didn't close his eyes. He opened them wide, glowing silver. His back split with light. The patterns burst outward, stretching like wings made of fire and stars. A scream tore from his throat, not of pain, but of release. The wings of light flared, brighter than the moon's. A shockwave exploded outward. The machines shattered in midair, breaking apart like toys, falling in pieces across the desert. Silence followed. Dust swirled around them. Lyra stared at her son in shock, her mouth open, her body trembling. The boy stood tall for the first time, his glowing wings spread wide, his eyes fierce and strange. Then as suddenly as it began, the light faded. The wings dissolved into smoke. Ziri collapsed, falling into Lyra's arms, weak and pale. She held him close, her tears falling onto his face. "My child, what are you?" she whispered. But no answer came. His breath was shallow, his body limp but alive. Lyra lifted him, carrying him deeper into the hills. Her mind screamed with fear. She had seen power before. Humans had great weapons, her people had great machines, but never this. This was not a weapon made by hands. This was something born. By the time dawn broke, Lyra found an old cave carved into the stone. The walls were covered in strange marks, ancient runes from forgotten times. She laid Ziri down and built a small fire. His breathing was steady now, though his skin still glowed faintly. As she rested, she heard a voice outside. Not a human. An alien traveler, cloaked in dust and shadow, leaning on a staff. His eyes widened when he saw Ziri's faint glow. "No," Lyra muttered, standing quickly. "You saw nothing." But the old traveler only bowed his head. "The child carries the wings," he whispered. "It is true, then. The prophecy lives." Lyra's blood ran cold. "What prophecy?" The traveler's voice was heavy with awe. That one day a child would be born with the wings of light. A child who would break the chains of humans. Or bind us to them forever, her heart pounded. "No, he is not a prophecy. He is just my son." The traveler's gaze was kind, but his words cut like knives. "Then protect him well, for the humans will not stop. They have seen the light. They will come with armies, with fire, with chains. The boy's choice will decide the fate of both our kinds." He bowed once more and disappeared into the desert mist, leaving Lyra shaken and alone. That night, Ziri woke. His voice was weak. "Mom, I dreamed of a ship. A great white ship. It called me inside. I think it wants me." Lyra pulled him close, her heart breaking. "No, Ziri, you are mine. You are not theirs." But even as she spoke, she knew the truth. The humans had felt the shockwave. They had seen the wings. They would never stop now. High above the planet, the human commander watched his screens. The burst of energy had lit the sky brighter than lightning. He smiled coldly. "So the weapon is awake," and he gave the order. "Prepare the landing forces. The child will be ours." The cave was dark, lit only by the dim fire. Ziri slept in his blanket, his small body still weak from the burst of power. Lyra sat near him, her hands shaking. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw those wings of light burning against the night. Beautiful and terrible. A gift or a curse? She did not know, but there was no more hiding. The humans had seen. They were coming. By morning, the sound of engines filled the sky, heavy and sharp, like the growl of a predator. Lyra pressed Ziri close, her heart racing. Shadows crossed the cave mouth. Soldiers in dark suits appeared, their faces hidden by glass masks. Humans. One raised a weapon. The child. Hand him over. Lyra's body trembled, but she stood firm. Never. They moved closer. One soldier grabbed her arm, pulling her aside. She screamed, fighting, but another soldier lifted Ziri gently as if he were made of glass. The boy stirred, weakly glowing. No, Lyra cried. She threw herself forward, but the butt of a rifle slammed into her stomach. Air rushed out of her lungs. She collapsed onto the stone floor, coughing, her vision swimming. The humans bound her hands and dragged her into their ship. Ziri lay across a stretcher, still unconscious. Lyra's cries echoed in the cold metal walls as the ship lifted into the sky. Hours passed. The hum of the engines rattled her bones. At last they reached orbit. Through the glass windows, Lyra saw their world below. Small, fragile, spinning in endless night. Above her, a massive human mothership loomed, white and sharp, like a blade carved across the stars. They brought her into a bright chamber, walls smooth and white. Machines hummed. Screens flickered with symbols she could not read. At the center, a tall man waited, his face pale, his eyes cold. He wore no helmet. He wanted her to see his smile. I am Commander Rel, he said. His voice was smooth, sharp as a knife. You know why we are here, Lyra spat at his feet. You are here to steal children. To kill families. Nothing more. Rel laughed, though his eyes never warmed. Is that what your people told you? No, we do not kill the chosen. We create them. Lyra froze. What? The commander stepped closer. He nodded toward Ziri, who lay under a glowing machine. Silver lines pulsed across the boy's back, brighter than ever. Long ago we mixed our blood with yours. We built a line of hybrids, half human, half Carillion. Stronger, brighter, more useful. Her stomach turned. You lie, but his words cut too deep. Memories rose. Why did the chosen always glow like humans' machines? Why did the humans never harm them but always take them? Rel's smile grew. Your son is not fully yours, he is ours. He carries our design, our voice. That is why he hears us. That is why his power answers when we call. Lyra staggered back, her knees weak. Her heart screamed in denial, but the truth was sharp. Ziri's golden eyes, his glowing veins, the whispers in his dreams, all of it made sense now. No, she whispered. Tears ran down her face. He is my child, mine, not yours. The commander tilted his head, studying her as if she were an insect. You love him? That is good. Love makes you blind. But the boy is meant for more than you. With us he will rise. With us, he will command armies. He is the bridge between our worlds. Lyra's rage boiled. She threw herself at Rel, even with her bound hands. But guards dragged her back, forcing her to her knees. Ziri stirred on the table. His eyes opened slowly. They glowed silver, brighter than before. His voice was soft, confused. Mom? Lyra cried out, struggling against her bonds. Ziri, don't listen to them. You are mine. But Rel stepped close, his voice low and tempting. Child, you have heard us in your dreams. You know the truth. You are not like her. You are like us. Come with me and you will see what you truly are. Ziri blinked. His small hands gripped the sides of the table. The glow on his back spread like fire, filling the room with light. For a moment, the machines around him responded. Screens flickered, metal bent, alarms screamed. Lyra shouted over the noise. Ziri, look at me, not him. You are my son. You are not their weapon. The boy's eyes shifted between them. His mother, broken but strong, and the commander, cold but promising answers. His heart twisted. Part of him wanted to run to Lyra's arms. Another part felt the pull of Rel's words, the strange truth in his blood. The glow reached its peak. With a cry, Ziri blasted the machines apart, sending sparks raining down. Guards fell back, blinded by the light. When the glow faded, Ziri collapsed again, weak but alive. The ship shook with alarms, Rel's face twisted with anger. He will come to us. It is only a matter of time. Lyra, panting, broken, whispered through her tears. Over my dead body. The guards dragged her away, but inside, her heart carried both fear and hope. Ziri was not only her son, he was something far greater, something dangerous, something beautiful, and the humans would never stop until he chose. The mothership shook with alarms. Lights flashed red across the white halls. Smoke rose from shattered machines. Soldiers shouted orders, running in panic. But in the center of the chaos, one boy lay still, glowing faintly against the broken table. Ziri. Lyra's hands bled from her bonds as guards dragged her through the chamber. She fought with every breath, her eyes never leaving her son. Ziri, wake up! Fight them! The commander, Rel, stood calm despite the chaos. His cold eyes burned with hunger as he looked at the boy. Do you see, woman? Even in weakness, his power bends our ship. He is not yours to keep. He is ours to shape. Lyra spat blood onto the floor. He is mine.
He is my child.
And no one will shape him but himself. For a moment, silence fell. Then Ziri stirred. His golden eyes opened, glowing with silver fire. He pushed himself up, weak but steady, his small body trembling. Stop, he whispered. His voice was quiet, but it carried like thunder. Stop hurting her. The soldiers froze. Their weapons buzzed, uncertain. Rel stepped forward. Ziri, you feel it, don't you? You are not like them. You are like us. Come to me and I will show you everything. Worlds, armies, power without end. You belong with humans. Ziri looked at him, then at his mother, broken, bleeding, but burning with love. His heart twisted. He felt both voices inside him. One called him to power. The other called him home. Lyra cried out, tears streaming. Ziri, listen to me. You are not curse, you are not weapon, you are my son. You choose who you are, not them. The boy's wings of light flared again, bursting from his back. The glow filled the chamber, brighter than suns. Soldiers shielded their eyes, some falling to their knees. The ship itself groaned, metal bending like clay. Rel shouted, his voice desperate now. Yes, that's it. Do not waste it on love, use it. Become what you were born to be. Ziri's wings spread wider, each feather made of pure light. His face was no longer a child's, but something older, stronger. He lifted his small hands, and every weapon in the room melted like wax. The boy turned to his mother. She stared back, trembling. Ziri, what do you want? For a long moment he said nothing. His eyes glowed like burning stars. Then he spoke, his voice clear. I don't want to be weapon. I don't want to be curse. I want to be future. The light erupted, surging through the ship. Energy crackled, bursting through walls, tearing into the engines. Sirens screamed. Outside, the mothership cracked like glass, fire spilling into the stars. Lyra felt weightless as the floor split apart. She reached for Ziri, but he was already lifting her with his light, carrying her in a shield of energy. Soldiers screamed as they were thrown back. Rel clung to a railing, his face twisted in rage. This is not the end, he roared. The universe will come for you, boy. They will never let you live in peace. Ziri's wings flared once more, and the commander was hurled into darkness. The ship broke apart. Fire swallowed steel, but through the chaos, a sphere of light carried Lyra and Ziri safely into the void. The burning mothership collapsed behind them, falling toward the planet's atmosphere in a storm of fire. They drifted in silence. Lyra held her son, trembling, tears running down her cheeks. You saved us, she whispered. You saved everyone. Ziri's glow dimmed, his body small again, fragile. He leaned into her arms, his voice soft. I didn't save everyone, Mom. I just chose you. Her heart broke with love. She kissed his forehead, holding him close. That is enough. They fell back toward their world, wrapped in light. The desert waited below, endless and cold. But to Lyra, it had never looked more like home. When they landed, the people of Koril gathered, staring at the glowing child. Some fell to their knees in awe. Others looked on with fear. The prophecy whispered in the desert was now alive before their eyes. Lyra stood tall, her son in her arms. He is not curse. He is not weapon. He is future, she declared. The crowd was silent, listening. The boy's faint glow pulsed like a heartbeat. Steady, alive. But far above, hidden among the stars, other ships stirred. Not human. Not alien. Something else. The universe had seen the light, and it would not look away. The story of Ziri was only beginning.